So today we're going to make in my workshop a cake. A cake? Birthday cake. Okay. Welcome to my workshop. Shall we make something? So, my name's Frank and this is my little workshop. Now, it's 2019 and for my New Year's resolution, I've said I'm going to make some YouTube videos. Now, this first video was supposed to be making something out of wood because that's what I do in this workshop. But I've got to make a birthday cake. Now, it's for my son, my grandson, so he wants a cake, so I'm going to make him a cake. And this is basically what I do. So, my grandson wanted a cake. He didn't know what he wanted, but he wanted something with an action figure. So I started assembling my tools after washing my hands, of course. All my tools got together there, and I put on a pair of latex gloves because I didn't want to get my hands covered in food colouring. So I started off mixing the colours. I cut this a bit short because I'm sure you don't want to watch me just making food colouring videos. Now this was the base. I was trying to make it look like a metal base. So cutting the icing to the right size after colouring it, and basically made it look as much like a metal plate as I could. So symmetrical lines across it, and then using a straw I put some pretend rivets into it. The final effect is quite good. Then more food colouring, more gloves. This time this was the blue, which was going to be for the denim jeans that the cake will be wearing. That was all of the colours mixed very quickly there. Now the cakes, overdid it a bit on the cakes, but I used the original cake baking tin to cut them all so they're all level, and then so I could stack them. Then obviously add in the jam and the butter icing, just to stick it all together. Now once these were all piled up, I put in some long cocktail sticks effectively, just to hold it all in position. Trimming the top here, which is going to be the top of the cake, the shape of the head, you'll see what I mean in a while. Have a quick clear up there. Now icing, butter icing, this is just normal butter icing. I'm not very good at this, not very good at plastering either, but yeah, I had a go. Get this as smooth as you can, because obviously the icing is going on top of this and really you don't want any lumps and bumps. Okay, now rolling out for the main body of the cake. Now this is Renshaw icing, which is a brand name, and I was having so much trouble with this because it becomes very sticky once it's worked. So I ended up going out, rushing to Sainsbury's to buy some Dr. Oetker icing, which I finally used to cover the top of the character's head. So basically smoothing it down as much as I can, and then cutting it level. You'll see there's a slight curve to the cake now. This is intentional. You'll see what I mean at the end of the cake. Get that as smooth as possible. And now for the same colour, the main body of the cake. Rolling this out to cover the rest of the butter icing, and hopefully not making it stick to the wrong places, which you can see went horribly wrong here. So this was a bit of a damage limitation exercise, just trying to get the rest of the cake smooth as possible. The join you can see between the two layers of red there, that will actually be covered over by the character's goggles, which you will see in a little while. Okay, back to the blue, which is the denim. This is now the new icing. This one here is the new icing, which I had to mix again because the other one was so sticky. This one is, I can't remember who makes this icing now, but it's much better. Now this obviously is the jeans for the character. Trying to get this as smooth as possible. I'm not very good at this. I'm much better with working with wood. and there is my new toy, which is a quilting tool, which is for cake decorating, just to put pretend stitches onto the character. Cutting out here for the pocket, the main pocket of the jeans for the character here. You'll see it when it comes around. There you go, it's the front pocket and the straps. Now, because this was quite thin, the straps started to crack because the icing was drying, so you have to be quite quick here, otherwise you end up with cracks. Rolling out the black now. This is for the goggles on the character. Firstly, I did it too thin, so I had to do it a couple of times. In the end, I ended up having to do it about 3 or 4 millimeters thick, just so it could roll out effectively. Now, I made that look very easy, but actually that wasn't quite nerve-wracking, moving a cake onto the stand. Now, using this is a felt tip pen from Sugar Flare Colours. It's licorice is what it's called, but it's like basically a black felt tip pen for doing the actual Spiderman, which you probably guessed what it is by now. The Spiderman lines. The legs and the arms were both just made out of fondant icing, coloured, obviously the same colour as the jeans and the body. And this is making the feet, basically just black icing rolled up and made into little shoe shapes. And then here I'm just putting the details on. And then his gloves, which are effectively like little boxing gloves with 3 fingers. Obviously this is going quite fast, this video, but he's got 3 little fingers. Okay, this bit here now this is the hair. Now I did the hair a bit too thick, really. These should have been a bit thin. Using cocktail sticks just to actually hold them into the head. Obviously you have to be careful when the cake's being eaten that you account for all of the cocktail sticks. This bit is the outer edge of the goggle of the character. Now I made this, it's just basically icing again, coloured grey, same colour as the base, and rolled around a circle cutter. Stuck these on with some Sugar Flare cake adhesive, and then left that to dry. I actually left that overnight, so this is now the next day. So now to make the eye for the character. So just white icing cut out into a circle, a little bit of an eye lid there, which is stuck on again with the cake adhesive. Some more colouring. It's light green, this one, just for the character's eyeball. So we're using a cocktail stick for painting and then blending it in with a dry paintbrush. And then some little white dots just to act as a little bit of a reflection on the eye. Now to stick this in place, just a little bit more cake adhesive and the eye goes on. Now obviously where I dried the goggles overnight, they dried flat, but of course the character's head is a bit curved, so I had to do a bit of reshaping there just to get it to sit flat against the head. Now just pushing it all into place, and then a couple of little buckles on the side of the goggles made out of the same colour grey as the actual goggle. Now colouring it with, it's again a Sugar Flare product. It's silver paint. It's edible paint. This went on quite well, but you have to be quite quick because it dries on the brush. So once you've done that, you should be able to clean the brush out. But I just basically, it was a cheap brush, so I just threw it away. Now finishing off the detail with the licorice pen again. It could have been a lot neater, but I'm not an artist, but this was more for effect, and I think it works quite well. If you spend a bit more time, or if you paint it on with a paintbrush and some black food colouring, that will work just as well. Now this is it's almost like a varnish, but it's an edible varnish, just to give a little bit of shine to the eyeball. And then now I'm just doing a little dusting with some silver, just to highlight the board. So as you can see there, I put on his action figure that he wanted in the end. Just stood it there, posed it with the other, have it cleaned up, and here's the final product. I think it turned out okay. I'm quite pleased with it, and I'm sure he'll like it. If you can see there, there's a little bit of a poo. but that's just one of my trademarks. Every time I make my grandson a cake, he always wants a poo on the cake. So there you go, there was a little poo. I think it turned out okay. I'm sure everyone is going to enjoy it. So that was it. Well done me. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I enjoyed making it a great deal. I hope you learned something. I did. I think I could do better next time, maybe. I'd like to thank Stephanie from Cake Nation, whose YouTube video inspired me to make that cake. Yeah, and it was very nice. Okay, next video, hopefully we'll do something out of wood, either using the CNC machine or just creating something special out of wood. So I hope to see you again. See you next time. Bye.